Hello, everyone. I come to you from sunny Kansas City. It's not sunny here. It is election day, though, and I have screwed up. I looked at your worksheets, and for one exception, all of you really seem to struggle with the worksheet. So that seems to be my fault. I probably didn't instruct you well enough on how to create the visual filters. In fact, I had uploaded a video on how to do that, and I don't see it anywhere on Moodle. And so maybe I didn't. I thought I did, though. So I apologize for that. That was my intention. So you all received full credit for the worksheet just for attempting it, but I want to show you how to actually do it because I think it's probably the best way to work with the language overall. Just by looking at what you all turned in, my guess is that you created one visual filter with all the parameters or the best you could do to find all the parameters. And that is going to mess you up with Hebrew because once again, Logos just does not do a very good job with working with Hebrew. So I'm going to walk you through how to find all of these different things, okay, using your visual filter. The easiest way to do it is with the same starting steps that you did for the Greek visual filter. I'm going to collapse these together because I want to work on a larger Hebrew canvas, so to speak. So the first thing you want to do is go to Documents, go to Visual Filter. Then you want to make sure you're on Morph up top. And then choose your Biblia Hebraica Stuttgartensia as your open resource. I don't know why it's not just clicking on that. Okay, seems to have already gotten it. All right, and then you want to make sure that it says with Hebrew morphology, not Aramaic morphology. I have no idea why that's its preset, but there you go. And then you want to choose a passage. So for our purposes, you could probably just choose Deuteronomy as a whole. So I'll go ahead and type that in, Deuteronomy. So I'm searching all morph text in Deuteronomy in the Biblia Hebraica Stuttgartensia with Hebrew morphology. Okay, so what I want to do is the same @ symbol like we had before, and the first thing our worksheet asks us to look for are nouns. So I click on noun. I want all common and proper, feminine and masculine, dual, plural, and singular. But for the first set, I'm looking for absolute nouns. So that's their state. So I'll click on that, and now I have nouns that are absolute. I want to highlight them in yellow, and I'll go ahead then and move back. All right, so these are all of my absolute nouns that are in Deuteronomy 6, 4 through 9. So what I would do then is I would go back to my text and I would highlight all of these nouns. Okay. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do is go back to your visual filter and very simply replace absolute with construct. Okay, let me just start it over. Noun, construct. And then if you need to, you can change it to blue or whatever you want, but right now we're only using kind of one thing per. So now you've got, according to Logos, all of your construct nouns. Okay. Now, it's at this point that I want to start showing you the difficulties of Logos. A lot of the words that they've highlighted are hyphenated together. And the problem is they're just lumping it all together as one word, even though it's a couple different words. So this is why you need to do the visual filters separately. So while this construction right here has a construct noun in it, the whole thing isn't a construct noun. This is what was throwing you off in your homework. In fact, it's a preposition attached to a construct noun, which is hyphenated to another noun in the construct state, which ends in a pronominal suffix. So all this will tell you is that there are construct nouns in here. So what you want to do is go down to the bottom and look and say there is a preposition. If you look down at the details in the bottom left corner, and there is a construct noun. So if I right click on this, it'll tell me the same thing. There's a preposition, that means by or with, and then there is a noun, common singular construct, that means whole or all. And it is hyphenated to another word that if I click on, tells me is a noun, common singular construct, with a pronominal suffix, pronoun suffix, second person masculine singular. Okay, so you know there are two construct nouns. You just have to kind of look at it and say what part of it is actually the noun. In this case, it's call, the kaf lamed, and then lamed bait bait. Okay, now I'm not expecting you to be able to do that. If you could just get on here and figure out that these were all construct nouns, that's fine. The way you find out where the prepositions are is then to go in and create a specific visual filter. So prepositions, and that's all you want in this case, are just prepositions, and then you can just make them red. All right, and then you go back, and once again, it is highlighted the entire word to which the preposition is attached. So what you need to do is right click on it to figure out what part of the word is actually the preposition. And this is where it tells you it is the bait here. And if you were to click on here, you would find out there is no preposition. It's just hyphenated to a word with a preposition. So very inefficient, but really the best way for someone who's just learning the language to figure out what you're actually looking at. Okay. Some of the other things that you needed to look for were vav conjunctions, definite articles, and pronominal suffixes. So just like we just did with the prepositions, you would just go back in with your visual filter. You would search for pronouns. This is the one that really you probably need some coaching. Pronouns suffixed. And then if you need to look at that in a different color, it really doesn't matter at this point. Once again, this tells you, again, all of the words that have pronominal suffixes attached to them. You then have to figure out what part of the word is the pronominal suffix, and this is probably the hardest to discern, primarily because it doesn't give you the exact form of it. So what you have to figure out here is, okay, my root word is lamed, bait, bait, and I can see that here, lamed, bait, bait. So the only part of the word that's not here is the final kaf with the kamets at the end. That's my pronominal suffix. In fact, you'll see them riddled throughout this text. Okay, so really figuring out what you're looking at in Hebrew is a multi-step process, and Logos can give you the information. They just don't separate it all out for you because it's all in one compound word, and they don't have the software nuanced enough to help you with that. So I hope that's helpful. I know it affected your translations as well because you weren't able to discern what exactly we were looking at. But like I said before, when you're translating, make sure you're right clicking on every word to figure out what is actually in the word here. So for instance, when I right click on ha devarim, I see there's an article. So this word has a definite article, ha. And then devar, word or thing. And it's telling me it's a noun, common, masculine, plural. Okay, well, when I look at it and it says dalet beit resh is the root, and then I look at the word here, I see im. And if I look back at my lecture, I remember that im is the plural masculine addition to a word to make it plural. Now I know this is the, ha, words. or things, because it tells me over here on the side that it means statement or speaking or account. It just means thing or word. All right. So this is kind of the process then of translating in Hebrew. I hope this was helpful. I know that Hebrew can be somewhat confusing, especially when you're trying to learn the alphabet along with learning the grammar, but hopefully this will give you the tools you need to progress through. We're hitting verbs pretty hard this week, and you can kind of see some of the grammatical nuances of that, and it can get fun in a hurry. So I look forward to talking with you about it on the discussion boards. Hope you have a great week.